Hey everyone, did you know that there's one particular trait in men that causes women to be massively turned on? But the downside is that so many of the men that I work with and speak to on a daily basis exhibit a complete and utter lack of this trait, and as a result they end up losing women left, right and center. Now, I know that this video title sounds a little clickbaity, and it is on purpose, but the truth is that after over a decade of coaching, there is this one commonality that I see over and over and over again in the guys that do really, really well. Sure, being really, really good looking certainly would help. Being rich as Batman wouldn't really give you too much trouble either with women. Being able to make a woman laugh and being great at teasing and banter is definitely a skill I highly recommend you learn. But if you aren't exhibiting this one trait, and even worse, if you're actively demonstrating you don't have it, you're never going to get any success with women. What is it? Keep watching to find out. Okay, so what is this magical trait that Damien keeps harping on about? Well, it's actually deceptively simple. And yet, it's a trait that I never see written about in any pickup literature or dating literature. And it has massively deep-reaching implications. So what is it? Women are massively drawn to men who are empowered. That sounds simple. It is, but it's really important to understand what this truly means. You see, to be empowered doesn't mean that you're wealthy. Although, as luck would have it, not luck at all, many men who are wealthy are empowered. It's actually what got them to be wealthy in the first place. To be empowered doesn't mean that you wield a lot of social control, right? That you're not a powerful man by way of social control. Although, as luck would have it, not luck at all, many men who wield a lot of social control got there because they were really empowered. You see, to be empowered doesn't require you to have anything obvious in your life that is a marker point of success, right? It doesn't require that you drive a great car. It doesn't require that you're surrounded by beautiful women. It doesn't require that you have men all around you following you at your beck and call. To be empowered means that you feel like you are in charge of your life. Everything that happens in your life, you are not a victim of. Instead, you are the curator of the lifestyle that you're creating for yourself. And every bit of your life you walk through with this mindset. You see, imagine a man who doesn't have a lot of money, but he really believes strongly in saving the whales. And this man is dedicated, right? He works day and night, and he goes on these expeditions, chaining himself to boats and all kinds of things, because he really believes in saving the environment. A man like this is attractive to a woman because he's empowered. He's a man who's taking charge. He knows what he wants in the world and he's got to go out and do it. He doesn't have social power. He doesn't have a lot of money, but he's empowered. I know that it's easy for a lot of you to say, well, Damien, you've been running a successful company for 10 years. You know, you're doing quite well with money. Things are great for you. Of course you feel empowered. But I'll tell you a secret. I was empowered when I was working with my dad in construction. When my dad hurt his neck and I helped him out for a year in construction. And I was living with my parents. I was empowered way back then. I was empowered when I worked at a 9-to-5 job I didn't enjoy very much. I was empowered though. I was an empowered guy. I was doing this job for a reason. I was empowered when I was laid off from that job and I had no money and a whole lot of rent to pay and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was still empowered then. I was empowered when I started a new business, School of Attraction, the one I run now 10 years later. And I had barely any money to rub together and I had to go back and move in with my parents. All these moments in my life, I was empowered. And at all these moments in my life, I had women. I had always access to women. Women were always drawn to me. And the reason is that I was the curator of my life. I was going somewhere. Something was going to happen. I was making things happen for myself. Unfortunately, most men don't feel this way. Most men go through life feeling disempowered. And I'll explain what that looks like. You'll probably be able to relate to some of this. A man who feels disempowered is, he plods along at life. Things happen to him because life isn't great. Things happen to all of us. You know, he kind of ends up at a job he doesn't like, but what's he going to do about it? He doesn't lead a life that really inspires him, but is not doing anything about it either because life just gets in the way, or, well, he's got too much debt so he can't really make raves, or, you know, or maybe he's got a wife or a girlfriend he doesn't really care about that much. You know, she's not ideal for him, but, you know, there's not really much he can do about it now. He's stuck in this position. And notice the word stuck comes up a lot, right? He hates his job. He bitches about it to his mates, but he doesn't do anything to change the circumstance. He probably turns to alcohol or drugs or video games to try to escape a life that doesn't inspire him. And this is what I see time and time again. You know, guys, they seek to blame other people for the things that go wrong, and they don't take charge of their lives because everything is everyone else's fault. There's nothing they can do. The world is too unpredictable. Woe is me. Here I am. I'm stuck. There's nothing I can do. That is going to turn women off. It's not that you don't have a fancy job. It's not that you don't wield power. Like I've already said, it's just that you feel disempowered. Women don't want to be around men who are long-term disempowered. So what's the secret? How do you change from being a man who feels disempowered in your life because things have happened to a man who is empowered that's going to attract women? Well, a large part of it is this. A large part of it is saying, you know what? Shit happens in this life, right? Bad things happen, okay? I get it. Your ex 6 months ago cheated on you. Boo-hoo. It's been 6 months. What can you learn from that experience? How can you move forward? How can you be a better man? How can you find a better woman, like a higher quality woman who isn't going to treat you like crap in the future? What are you going to do about it? Right? You know, you have a job you hate, do something about it. Start getting better education. Start a new business. Start a side hustle in your time off, but do something to start to shift your circumstances, right? It's always about thinking to yourself, what can I learn? This thing is bad. What can I learn from it? This thing sucks. What's the big life? How can I turn this thing into a benefit for me, right? You work in a corporate job and you're a really short guy. You're really softly spoken. It's hard to get anyone to notice you, right? You can complain about that and be upset. Or you know what you can do? You can say to yourself, all right, how can this negative thing about me, negative thing, be a positive? How can this empower me? Well, shit, if I'm a short guy and people don't notice me and it's hard to make myself known when people are talking and I often get talked over, maybe when I rise to the top, no one's going to see me as a threat. So I can come in and surprise everyone, right? Because no one's going to try to knock me down because no one's going to see me as a direct personal threat to them, right? Like, no matter what's going on for you, there is a benefit. There is a way that you can use what feels negative and use it as positively as you can, because that's you taking charge of your world. And the second part, and this is actually in some ways the biggest part for me, because I see this a lot on YouTube, you got to stop blaming other people. I mean, I see this a lot, and I think I spend a lot of time in my videos fighting against this too. There are things in the world that aren't great. You know, there is a feminist, you know, sort of push leaning that politically starts to create laws that are anti-male, that really hurt men. You know, your ex cheated on you. Some girls are unreliable and will cheat. You know, some women can be superficial. That's true. All these things are true. But when you start externalizing the things that go wrong, when you start saying the world is bad and there's nothing I can do about it, that is how disempowerment happens. You know, I recently watched a video from quite a popular YouTuber. I'll put a link up if you'd like to see it. But he basically says that in his life, he says that women don't give a crap about men's struggles. And he gives an example. He says he was dating a woman for a long time and his company lost a lot of money and he shared his vulnerability with her. And after a while, she left him because he didn't have any money left. Women don't care about his struggles and his vulnerability. They'll leave you if you're struggling and you're vulnerable. And that's the lesson that they draw. They say the world is against me. There's nothing I can do. I'm helpless here. But that's not what it is. Red pill guys are a big fan of this. Oh, hypergamy. There's nothing I can do. I just got to make money. Women will just monkey branch to more successful men. It becomes an external conspiracy. And when there's an external conspiracy, there's very little you can do about it, right? And that is disempowerment at its height. All right. Instead, what you need to do, you need to say, you know what, this guy whose partner left him, I bet my left kidney that he became disempowered for a long time, right? He didn't say, oh my God, I've lost all this money. I'm feeling really crap about it. I need to create a game plan to get this back and act in an empowered way. Man, if his partner left him, odds are 100% or 99% that what he did was he switched into a needy, disempowered state for a long time. And his girlfriend said, you know what? I'm sick of being your mom and trying to make you feel better. I'm out of here. And every woman's going to do it, right? Bad stuff can happen to you, but it doesn't mean that you have to go into a long-term state of disempowerment and drive women out of your life. Now, I know that empowerment is a really easy topic to talk about, but it's much harder to execute in practice. And so I'd love to hear from you. Have you become more empowered in your life in general and noticed a change in the way that women react to you? Have you noticed a change in the quality of women that you suddenly have in your life when you feel more empowered? Because that's another massive change that you'll notice as you become more empowered men. Let me know in the comments below if you've had this experience. Let me know in the comments below if you've become empowered and still haven't met women. Do you exist? I can't imagine it. But if you do, let me know about it. Also, I'll let you know that if you're struggling to be more successful with women, I wrote an award-winning book a number of years ago called Sincere Seduction. I'll give you a link up in the top or down in the comments below. If you're struggling, this is what I highly recommend. Grab it. If you don't love it, I'll give you money back because this is, this is some really great stuff. And if you like what's in my videos, you're going to love what's in that book. Guys, as always, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell icon as well so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. I look forward to reading your comments and seeing you in my future videos.